Hey guys, we're coming at you today with Blood and Honey 2. Definitely going to be a classic, better than the original. Let's get into the Poohverse. Alright, so one of my new favorite horror films, or you could say killers, would be the Winnie the Pooh universe, Poohverse. So let's start off with the second one, out of the two so far, which I think is the
better one.
Yes,
Yeah.
the budget was $1 million, and it grossed over 7.5, so it made a profit. And small budget, but it still did a lot good on the gore and the kill fest. What do you think about the budget?
You know what? The for what they did, the budget was impressive. I mean, especially in comparison to the first one. I mean, that was a lot lower of a budget, and it was a lot lower standards, I guess you could say. This one brought a lot more to the table, a lot more we'll say smart kill scenes, and obviously that requires more of a budget, more blood, more gore, more violence, right? It's all in the budget there, but again, too, the budget definitely shows in comparison to the first one. I'm sure we're gonna get a lot of comparisons to the first one in this discussion, just for the fact of it being a completely different movie, in my opinion. Well, let's talk about the director on this one.
I like how he's kind of bringing all these childhood characters that you grew up with, that you grew to love, and not see them in this kind of picture. For some of them, we'll get like Peter Pan. We could kind of see what they're doing with that movie, which we still have to see. It's only released in the States right now, but I like what he's doing with the Poohverse. Him and the writer Scott Chambers, I think, did some of the writing as well and acted in it. I like what they're doing with the whole Poohverse and whatnot. Like we said, it kind of, like, some people are ticked off, like, oh, why are you stealing it off? It's not really stealing, it's just putting this character in a different world. Instead of it being like a kid's world where it's all lovey-dovey, what if it happened this way, where they are like bears and this and that, but it was due to a scientist morphing them and whatnot, right? But I like all the actors. I thought the chemistry was great on set. I really liked Louis Santer. Sorry, I can't say his name. Tigger. I liked Tigger a lot. That was probably my favorite character out of all of them. Pooh's great as well, which we seen, which is Ryan Olivia. What do you think about the actors?
You know what? Directors, actors, everything was great. I mean, and a lot of it had to do with, again, too, being a big improvement on the first one, right? Mm-hmm. But this one had more of they actually made a movie out of this one.
Yeah.
There was, like you said, a good storyline where it kind of explained where these, what happened to our childhood friends here.
Yeah.
Right. And then the explanation behind it, I thought was pretty cool. They added characters in this one, and how they all had their own personalities. And I don't know if you noticed this, but it was almost like they kind of took different aspects from other iconic horror characters, Pooh being more like Michael Myers, and then you have Piglet being more like Leatherface, and then you have I would say Tigger is more like Freddy Krueger, and then you got Owl, that's like Hannibal Lecter, very smart and, he sounds like he's well educated, right? Yeah. So it was cool. They added all those aspects to it. And I have to add that I did enjoy the fact that they made the first movie a movie within the movie, it was the made for TV movie of what happened.
Yeah, it was on TV while we were watching the movie. So you're watching the movie while watching the first movie.
Yeah. And it just goes to show you how I'm gonna say the first one's bad, right? But it's so bad that I can enjoy it still, right? It's not oh my god, this is awful kind of thing. This movie is actually good, and I remember us we went and seen it when it first came out in theaters. We found a theater that was playing it, and that was one of the most fun audiences we've ever sat in. It was just a bunch of hardcore fans watching this movie. We were laughing. We were shocked at some of the the more risque scenes or whatever. And yeah, no, just all around better movie. I enjoy watching it in every aspect.
If you've seen like certain parts where Christopher Robin was looking on the computer, you could see kind of like foreshadowing of the Poohverse, where they've seen like there's a deer disease, which will be the Bambi one once it comes out, if they end up doing that.
Yep.
The one kidnapper that kidnapped the kids ended up telling you the backstory of like why he was kidnapping the kids. He didn't think it was going to go there, but he was relieved to tell Christopher Robin, stuff like that. Like, there was more of a storyline.
Deep storyline, yeah.
And, like, the acting was, even though it was some of the same actors, I think the acting was a lot better there as well. Like, night and day from the first and second.
Oh,
That's
absolutely.
why I'm excited to watch Peter Pan as well. Because that one, I want different actors, but I wonder if that one's going to be storytelling's going to be a little bit better than the Winnie the Pooh the second, and then what will the Poohverse hold for us?
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, we're getting all these crazy horror movies nowadays, right? Like, and I think to be honest, a lot of it had to do with the Terrifier. You know, being able to make such a low budget movie make so much gross in the theaters that they started doing all these other movies right on top of it, and the Winnie the Pooh universe is so far so good. I cannot wait to see Peter Pan. I can't wait to see Bambi. I can't wait to see the Pinocchio. I want it all. I want this whole universe. I'm excited to see how, you know, when they all band together, what kind of mischief they're going to create, because these ones cause enough problems.
Yeah.
You know, and, you know, just, I want to see more of Tigger, too.
Yeah.
Like, we had an opportunity to meet both Ryan Olivia and Lou Santer in Niagara Falls, at Frightmare in the Falls, actually, who signed my my steelbook there. They were really down to earth, both of them.
Yeah.
And I will say this, you know, I both great guys, but Louis Santer, hell of a guy.
Yeah.
I hope his career makes a really good go at it.
Yeah, I think he just filmed the Mad Hatter, actually, which I'm what's the word? Like, I really want to see that, because I'm pretty sure, I don't know if it's his wife or his girlfriend is actually in that as well, so I would like to see their chemistry, because obviously off-set their chemistry was good, so it'd be good to see on set, but continue going, sorry.
Yeah, no, I hope we get to see more of him in the upcoming films, right? Get to see more of Tigger in that, you know, Poohverse. I thought, like, I mean, that aspect when the rave. I want to talk about the rave, and that moves into my favorite scenes. We'll say, Tigger went off. You know, there was so many bodies by the end of it, and it was almost like, you know, Pooh was unleashing him. He was that bad, right? And he played that role of that vicious, you know, character. Nobody would ever thought that Tigger was going to be like that, you know. That was great that they added that character. I hope to see more of them. What was your favorite scene?
I would say the same thing, where Tigger just slicing and dicing everyone, and my favorite scene, like, which is a little bit more pinpoint to the rave scene, was where he's like, "Get over here, you fluorescent bitch," or something like that. Something along those lines. I that had me laughing, because I did not expect that, but like, I could see Tigger doing that now, because he's just crazy after seeing how many kills. I think just in that scene he got almost like 11 kills. The whole movie there was like about like 30 kills, or not 30 kills, sorry. It was probably in like the mid-20s just in this hour and a half, I think, movie. And
I think we might have missed some of the rave too, because again, too, they were just going off.
Yeah, it was just, kill after kill after kill. Yeah. But like going, so I just said my favorite scene, but let's get into the costume. I thought they did amazing on like Pooh's costume, Tigger's. I've been trying to get one of their masks. The Pooh mask is nothing compared to what they have on set, which I understand, but like the Pooh mask is 10 times better than the one you can get, so I don't find a use in getting it. But like, that just goes to show how much detail they put it into the costume, and you could see that from the first and the second one.
Oh yeah,
from the Pooh costume. There was no Tigger from my recollection, but just in Pooh, the costume was so much better. So I wonder if they're going to add more detail to the third, or if the third is actually the Poohverse. I wonder what they're going to do with Piglet, considering he died. Spoiler alert. But yeah, that being said, what do you think about the effects or the costume?
Oh, they're all great. I mean, in comparison, especially to the first one, I mean, we went from, you know, great makeup work to this one, and then the original one had rubber masks, right? And they were noticeable too. Um, night and day. I guess with a bigger budget, we got to see what their actual vision was, right, for this idea. I think if they continue to do it the way they did it in the first one with the costumes and the effects, it would have eventually been old, stale, and nobody would have been interested, right? This one actually opened up a lot of doors for this Poohverse, or and it's exciting things to come, and I can't wait to see if they get a higher budget, if stuff's going to look even better, if the costumes will look better, what they plan to do with costumes, with sets, exciting stuff in the works.
Yeah. I definitely agree. Like, there's so many innovative kills that they did in this that the budget probably has a lot to do with it. But we see movies like Terrifier where the budget's not that high, but they still have amazing effects. I do understand Terrifier has a lot less like costumes and stuff like that for price wise. So maybe now that they invested so much money in the costumes this time around, maybe they could put that money more into the story or more into the kill scenes for the third one. What do you think about the ending?
Ending was satisfying, and it left me wanting more. I want another Winnie the Pooh movie. I want this Poohverse to happen, and I can't wait to watch it unfold.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. I wonder if Piglet's coming back alive. I wonder, what, like, is there a way to actually kill them? It's kind of like the Terrifier. There's so much unanswered questions that the first one never really gave you, I would say, questions. But you wanted another one to see if it could top off, which the second one I blew the first out of the water, which is leaving you a lot more questions and wanting more versus, like I said, the first one. You want more because you're hoping that the second one is going to be better and pull you in more, which they did really well. Now they're pulling you on for the third. And by the looks of the Peter Pan trailer, that, like, the whole Poohverse is going to be outstanding. So let's bring out the Jammeter.
You know what? It might shock some people because considering it's such like a niche movie, we'll say. I'm gonna go and give it an 85 because I enjoyed it that much. And even though I have it in my protective steelbook case, it gets pulled out quite often, and it will continue to. It's got a great storyline. There's great acting, for what we have, especially with these guys in the costumes. Christopher Robin was a lot better in this movie. All in all, great film. I would recommend it to anybody that hasn't seen it, especially if you're into the horror genre. One hell of a ride.
I agree.
What would you give it?
I would agree with the 85. Some people will disagree. Like, there's a storyline and there isn't. Like, it all depends on how much of a story you want for a storyline. Yes, it's kind of makes people upset because it makes the villains of childhood heroes or characters best friends. But I think if you just go into it not expecting much, you just go into it for kills, and you've watched the first one, you'll be a lot more pleased with this one, and you might even be surprised and actually like it just as much as we do.
Yeah, you have fun with it.
Don't always. Yeah, it's a movie. You obviously these are highly unlikely to ever happen and whatnot. But I liked how they still had the 100-acre woods. How they kind of showed like the backstory. There was a good backstory in this one. So the third one, now we have the backstory. They can add a little bit more in the third one, but I'm hoping there's more kills, more innovative kills, more gore.
Just up that ante.
Yeah, exactly. And I want to see Tigger go more crazy. Like, even Piglet, I feel like it is just like.
I want to see more of Piglet.
Yeah,
definitely.
Owl only even killed 2 people, so like we could see more of Owl. But so that's everything for our discussion today. That being said, we definitely recommend you watching it at least once. The 4K quality is outstanding, sound outstanding. If you liked what you've seen today, hit that subscribe button, hit that follow button. Don't forget to hit that bell. And thanks for jamming out.